So here we have what's commonly known as the inchworm. So basically, it's something that I use to prescribe to clients all the time and use prior to my own training, where the idea is you have straight legs and you walk out in front of you. Now, it's not that there's anything particularly wrong with this exercise. However, from giving it to a lot of people in the past, one of the things that I commonly see is that people tend to bend their legs quite a bit. There's quite a lot of lumbar flexion, no real kind of challenge or the ability to create stability around the spine, and just going forward. And it's actually quite an advanced movement to do to properly lengthen the hamstrings and get that response we want prior to training. So what we find is that really, in essence, all we're doing is we are getting some length tension change because we are, in essence, stretching the hamstrings as we go back into the hands towards the feet position. However, you've got to think, is it actually achieving something? So if we're looking at this exercise, what are we trying to achieve? Well, mainly it's to increase the length tension in the hamstrings so we have a better pelvis position for doing any form of squats and deadlifts. So again, it's not that this is a bad movement, but is there a more optimal way that we can achieve this? So here we have an exercise which I think would be probably more optimal based on what we're trying to achieve. It's very, very simple to do. All you need a mat and a Swiss ball, which are readily accessible in pretty much any gym. So first thing I'm going to do here is put myself in a hip flex position, feet on the ball, a nice flat back position, chin tucked, and spine nice and long. Once in this position here, I'm just going to take my hips off the floor, which is going to give me challenge the stability. And what you might find if you're doing this exercise with a client and you're the trainer, hold the ball so they've got stability and they're not flying around and they're not kind of wobbling. So you are just providing them some stability through the ball. You can actually use a bench, you can use whatever you like. It's just the ball in this case probably provides a good height. But there's also something you'll see in a second, which is going to be really important for improving the hamstring length tension. So why do we want to do this? Well, first of all, if we're thinking about the hips and the pelvis, what a lot of people struggle with is their ability to hold the pelvis in the right place and take it out of anterior tilt. So that's that excessive lumbar extension where we have any pinching or problems in the lower back. We want to take them into a posterior tilt where essentially we're bringing our tailbone up and round as if it's coming round towards our stomach. So think of your coccyxes here. You're bringing that you're bringing that clockwise in towards your belly button. So when I position myself like so, you can see here I've really created this massive posterior tilt where I'm engaging my abdominals here like so. Now once we're in here, what we want to do is just breathing in and breathing out. So really purposeful inhalations, exhalations. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. And as you exhale, you can just take the ball away from you a little bit more whilst engaging your hamstrings. So this is actively going to lengthen the hamstrings whilst you're stabilizing the spine. So we've got some awesome levels of co-contraction, which basically means the hamstrings are going to fire and lengthen whilst they're stabilizing the pelvis, whilst we're also stabilizing the trunk. So we've got loads of things going on, which is going to be have a positive impact on our posture and positioning for when we're training. So this is why using a ball over a bench would be more optimal in this situation. However, what you will find is this is actually really, really tricky. So to keep the hamstrings engaged and not go into passive tension and actually take the ball away from you takes quite a bit of strength and skill set, which is why you need to make sure you adapt this to each individual's capabilities and the level that they have. They can do this whilst getting the right thing to occur. So basically what that means is this is a good exercise, but if someone can't do it properly whilst properly stabilizing and having that feeling stability, it's something that you may not want to go straight into. As you can see here, I've blown the air out and now gone into a little crunch to engage the abdominals even more. And I'm just focusing on trying to get my legs as straight as I possibly can, bringing them to me and then away from me. And again, I'm just cueing that posterior tilt, locking everything into position, and then trying to get the legs completely straight and hold that position there. Then I might spend some time here, again, inhaling, exhaling, and just reminding the body how to engage the hamstrings to pull the pelvis posteriorly. So this is what I would look to do. You're doing for anywhere between 3 to 5 reps with some toe touches as a way of opening up the space and getting a nice amount of expansion in the lower back, but also improving length tension in the hamstrings and making for smoother, easier hip hinge motions and squat patterns as well.